This paper prototype extends the Google Maps with two new features. One is to share locations with friends and show the routes at the same time. The other is to support live talk with shared friends while driving. The participant is asked to invite two friends to an interesting place. After the invitation is sent, the participant also acts as one of his friends to accept the invitation and start a live talk to everyone else. Therefore, the participant is going to handle two mobile phones.
Let's first focus on the user's mobile phone. This is a typical Google Map interface. In order to find an interesting place, you can simply click this to use the visited history.
And in order to share the favorite places, he can simply click on this item and a new page will pop up. A user can simply click on this button to start a normal navigation in the single user mode. Instead, we can click on the Invite Friends button.
The contact selection page will pop up, and by select these two friends, and it will become like this, and click Next. The final confirmation page will show, and the user can add some details about this invitation. After the confirmation, the user can click this to send the invitation, and a normal navigation starts. And while waiting for the friend to accept the invitation. Now let's switch to the friend's mobile phone. The friends will receive a notification from the Google Map app, and after click this, the detail of this invitation will appear, and he can decide to ignore it or follow it. Let's just follow this invitation, and a normal navigation will start, and with some extra information about the inviter's location and his route. At the same time, another friend accepts the invitation, and his location and routes will also appear on the same screen. So the guy can decide to say hi to all of them and start a live talk by click this, and then live talk is on. Once this switch is on, the guy can keep talking unless the switch is turned off. This is safe for drivers, especially when they are driving. They don't have to switch back and click on the button again and again. Now let's go back to the user's mobile phone. After all of them accept the invitation, their location and routes will appear, and while the guy is talking, a little icon will show indicating the guy who is talking at this moment. And if he thinks the routes are too distracting, and he can simply click this and to make it cleaner. That's it.
Throughout the paper prototyping, I found out some flaws of the interface. First, the testers felt confused when they began the live talk. They were not sure whether the talk is live or just pieces of audio record. In other words, they didn't know whether the voice is sent after they stop talking or is sent while they are talking. One tester held on the voice button for a while and didn't know it's a switch. Another flaw is that when we start navigation using the Google Maps, the map is zoomed in, which makes the viewpoint smaller than the one I have shown in the prototype. In other words, The driver cannot see the location of his friends as easily as in our prototype. After the paper prototyping, I have better understanding about its capabilities and limitations. One capability of paper prototyping is that we can modify the buttons or layouts very quickly, even on the fly. In other words, it has low viscosity. The second one is that we can observe the testers under face-to-face circumstance. If they look confused, we give proper guidance or just modify the interface. The third is that we can get feedback about advanced functions without implementation. We assume that the advanced functions have been ideally implemented. If users give positive feedback about them, developers gain great confidence when they start to implement it. Now I will talk about its limitations. One limitation is restricting the way users interact with the interface. The operations are almost limited to clicking. Some typical operations on mobile phone, like swiping, dragging, and long holding, are not intuitive on a paper-based interface. For example, no one tries to drag the Google Maps, even though it's one of the fundamental operations. The second limitation of paper prototyping is the lack of testing on all classes of problems, like testing multimedia. For example, we cannot record the voice and play back to some other users when we are just using paper prototyping. Anyway, the paper prototyping is a nice way to demonstrate some promising ideas. Thanks for your watching.